Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here, and thanks for being flexible with adjusting the start time so that we could accommodate some of the bargaining team members who are in another meeting. Appreciate that. So here we are. I think today it's a challenge to find candidates for pretty much any job, right? But we're still seeing a significant issue with hiring bus drivers, and I know that. Mr. Brenner, you could probably you see a little bit from every district throughout the state, and I'm sure that's not uncommon for the districts throughout the state and throughout the nation, really. So we previously met regarding the impact of a transportation contract and found that while there's no impact from that, but however our staffing challenges. We requested this meeting as it is our desire to increase the rate for bus drivers. So our most recent salary increase that we gave during the last round of negotiations, it moved the district to one of the highest paying school districts for bus drivers. So we really made a conscious decision there to try to get towards the leading the market in that area, since it was a position that's so difficult to staff. But we're still having challenges. So our superintendent, his leadership team, Ms. Frederick, Mr. Sanchez, and others, along with our school board, would like us to become even more competitive and increase the starting hourly rate of each bus driver by $2.67. So this would also result in a new minimum hourly rate of $20 for bus drivers, which just by doing a little bit of research, I believe would exceed most, if not all, districts in the state of Florida for a starting bus driver rate. And I know those things are changing, but Mr. Brenner, you could probably attest to that, or if there's anybody who is above that, it can't be many. So this increase, it would be an average of 14%. It's right around 14% for our existing bus drivers. And really would do a lot, I think, to help us retain our drivers. But it would also come 2 months earlier than if done during our reopeners, which the raises there would not be go into effect until January 1st. So this increase also to our minimum hourly rate is I think it's about 15.4% increase there, which I really do think needs to help us attract new candidates to our system. If it doesn't, I'm really not sure what will. So that's really where we called this the reason for this meeting. So giving an increase sure is one thing, but we also want to discuss how it would be handled during reopeners, and the understanding that if we do this increase now, the bus drivers, this would serve as their increase for reopeners, and unless we agreed otherwise during reopeners to provide an additional increase, this agreed that this would cover the recurring base salary increase for our drivers. They would still be eligible for bonuses, supplements, or other compensation, anything else we decide upon during reopeners, but as far as the base salary increase, this is what we'd like to get out there. So with that, I'll turn it over to you if you have any questions or anything else.
No, thank you, Tim. Can everybody hear me well?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a little under the weather, so I have a little raspy voice. You'll have to forgive me and have me repeat things if needed. We ran the numbers. We appreciate the district submitting this to us. We had a conversation with our bargaining committee regarding this. Absolutely correct in that the minimum increase of going from $17.33 an hour to $20 is a 15.4% increase, and the average increase, depending upon where folks sit right now, is about 14%, depending on what their current wage rate is. I also, do appreciate that the district is willing to open the entirety of the bargaining unit salary negotiations earlier than we'd expected. Typically we don't get into the table till December, January, but obviously there's a desire for both parties to get to the table regarding the totality of the bargaining units I believe we've got scheduled November 3rd, 10 a.m. for our in-person, first crack at, across the board increase discussions for the remainder of all SEIU units.
Correct.
Great. We did scour the MOU. We appreciate you sending that in advance so we were able to go over it. I think we're really close in terms of an agreement from the union on this. The one counter proposal that the union would make regarding the memorandum, you're reaching for a pen, which is important.
I'm good.
The only caveat, and I'll say this, I'll explain the caveat to it, but I'll explain the rationale afterwards. The union appreciates the district's movement of the minimum wage rate from $17.33 an hour for bus driver ones up to $20 an hour. We have no objection to that. We think that's a great mechanism. If there are people out there that are on the fence, they're looking at competing offers, or looking at going in private sector or transit authority or other facets, we want to make sure that they come to Palm Beach schools. There's a desire for the union to make that happen as well. There is one component of the conversations, which I know has been a long-standing issue, and why we want to seek to increase the rate, which is scheduled right now in the district's MOU to move all drivers in bus driver 1 and bus driver 2 from $2.67 an hour right now, which would basically create the same increase upward for everyone. The union wants to see in our proposal back to the district if that number can go from $2.67 to a flat $3 an hour increase.
For existing employees, you're talking about only?
For existing drivers, bus driver 1s and bus driver 2s, as a way to create a small level of distance from the minimum wage rate to that of the currently employed employees, and as a retention tool to keep people who are currently employed not from going around to other places. Aside from that, we have no disagreement on the remainder of the spirit of the memorandum, including that of this would be the across-the-board increase, base salary increase for driver 1s and 2s during this upcoming round of negotiations.
Okay. I would like to get my group into a breakout room. So if Palm Beach, if you could all join there, we will talk and then we'll come back, okay?
Sounds good.
Thanks. Everybody back? Okay, cool. All right. So coming into this offer, for the increase, we did go to the board first. We got spending authority for $2.67. I mean, it's pretty obvious we're doing a lot with bus drivers over the past, year, to really try to get this position filled and keep people in it. Another thing that I want to point out is that the driver 2 positions, so that which are a pay level above what the driver 1s are, we did just add 12 new positions there, and I just want to point that out as another opportunity for existing drivers to assume a leadership role, but also get a minimum of a 5% increase just by moving into that position. So, there are other ways to increase salary as well. So the driver shortage, we know this is a crisis, not just here or in Florida, but everywhere. So after talking with the team, what we're willing to do is the $2.75 increase, which would make it an even $5 increase that we've had over the 2 years basically. So that's what we're coming back with. And keep in mind, for us, it's just we have to get spending authority, so it was something that we're this is where we feel we can go. So
Yeah, and we'll caucus on this, but I just want to get clarity. So making sure, and when you say the $5, you're referring to the $2.25 increase that was ratified by the union in late May, ratified by the board in June, plus the $2.75. So I was looking at 225 plus 267 would have been $4.92. If you up your 267 to 275, that makes it an even 5. Okay.
Right.
No comments to the district on acceptance or rejection. Does anybody have questions before we caucus on the union's perspective, specifically to this issue? Go ahead, Garrett.
Yeah, just for clarity, that figure is across the board for starting drivers as well as your existing drivers, correct?
The $2.75.
Yes, sir.
Meaning, would you raise the starting driver to $20.08?
No, it was for the starting salary was to $20. So there, I know you asked for a little bit more separation between the existing drivers and the starting salary, but this was just for existing drivers.
Okay, I just wanted to be some clarity on that. Thank you, Mr. Cooper.
Any other questions from my committee to the district?
I have one question. This is Julia Reddick. Hi. I want to know, I see that you're changing it as far as the hourly. What about when they come into training? Is training still going to remain the $15?
Yes, we're not here changing anything about those positions at this time.
Okay, thank you. I'll mute.
All right, anyone else before we move into caucus? Top of your screen, you'll see a yellow long bar. To the far right, you'll see an orange join. We're going to caucus. Give us probably 20.
Okay.
We'll see you.
All right, thanks.
All right, Mr. Kubrick. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, Tim. We have a deal.
Excellent. I appreciate that. I appreciate you working through it with your team, and I'm excited about it because I really do think it is a nice deal for drivers to get an increase a little early, and it's a pretty significant increase. So it also puts us in a position where we really should be able to recruit and retain our staff. So appreciate it.
Yep. So if you'll send me over a new draft.
Yes.
I'll execute it.
Okay. I will send it over to you in the next 15 minutes.
Cool. And we will have to ratify because there's an amendment of wages on our end.
Okay.
I'll work with you.
Okay. All right. We'll talk offline, I guess, about that then.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for jumping in on this today. Appreciate it, and be safe over the next couple of days.
Yes. Appreciate it very much work.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Everybody have a great week. Bye.
You too. Take care.